dare I say that right now it feels good as hell to be a Chicago Bears fan. What's good? This is JVB back with another Bears video. The NFL draft is come and went. Obviously the Bears drafted Caleb Williams, but along with Caleb Williams, the Bears drafted Rome Odunze with the number 9 overall pick. A lot of us expected that, including myself. But then in the third round, the Bears picked up a local guy from Hinsdale, Kuran. I'm gonna try to pronounce his last name, Amagaje. I think I got that right. He has experience as well playing the right guard position, so a guy that can play inside or outside depending on the Bears' needs. But in the future, possibly, this guy can possibly be the Bears' left tackle. But then the Bears go on in the 4th round and they go ahead and they draft a punter. This is how you know it's exciting times to be a Bears fan, because people have been raving about this pick. Now, this is going to sound a little crazy, but of all the guys that the Chicago Bears have just drafted this past weekend, Troy Taylor might be the most immediate upgrade that the Bears made. Obviously, Caleb Williams, the hope is that he's a generational talent. Obviously, with Rome Odunze, all the measurements, all the measurables, they show, and hopefully they show on Sundays on the football field. But Troy Taylor might already be an upgrade over Trenton Hill. I didn't watch a lot of college football. I watched some. One thing I do know is that Iowa's offense was trash. Their defense carried the load, and an extension of the defense is the punter. So this 4th round pick, yes, it was on a punter, but I think this is going to be a very valuable pick made by the Chicago Bears. And now we think the Bears are done, but they're not done. They traded away next year's 4th round pick to the Buffalo Bills to acquire this year's 5th round pick. And they go out and they draft Austin Booker, the defensive end, the rusher out of Kansas. There's obviously a lot of work to be done with a raw talent like Austin Booker, but this guy clearly has pass rushing skills. And this is the big dude. 6'5", 240, 250. I still feel like they need pass rushing help. Dominique Robinson, he ain't gonna cut it. I'm sorry. I feel like they still need to go out at the June 1st deadline, when guys are getting cut and the money is coming off the board. Maybe that's when the Bears go out and they make a move to bring in some more pass rush help, because I feel like you can never have too many pass rushers on a football team. I can't go crazy and say that the Bears are going to win a division next season and go to the playoffs next season, but they did what they had to do. We knew what was coming with the 1st overall pick in Caleb Williams. Like I said, a lot of us knew that there was a chance that they were going to draft Rome Odunze, and they did, and I'm glad that they did. Again, setting up Caleb Williams for success right now. Something that the previous regime, they didn't do with Justin Fields. Let Caleb Williams come in, and obviously there will be growing pains, but let him come in with as much talent around him as possible. Shoring up the offensive line and making sure there are weapons available for him to throw to. I said this in my last video. I'm going to say it again. You got DJ Moore. You got Keenan Allen, a guy that he actually worked with, leading up to the draft, along with Rome Odunze. You got Cole Kmet at tight end. You brought in Gerald Everett. You have a surplus of running backs led by DeAndre Swift, who they brought in. You got Khalil Herbert. You got Roschon Johnson. You have support if you're Caleb Williams. Normally, 1st round quarterbacks, they don't get this opportunity, yet alone the team with the 1st overall pick in the draft. Like, man, this team is young already. To add young talent to this team is so important, including at the key positions: the quarterback, the wide receiver, the left tackle. They address the pass rushing position, which is probably the most important thing to have on the defensive side of the ball. Somebody that can actually rush and get to the quarterback. and then you add a punter who, it may seem insignificant, but when you have a punter with a strong leg that produces hang time, that pushes the ball back inside the 20, inside the 10, the 5. I just mentioned the pass rush, getting to the quarterback. That shit works hand in hand. But as I said earlier, it's not a guarantee that the Bears are going to win anything. But the fact that you are building and building the way that Ryan Poles is doing, I got to give him credit. I've criticized him when I felt like I needed to, and I've given him praise when I felt like it was due. And I feel like it was due this past weekend. I feel like the Bears did what they needed to do. You still got to play the games, though. So Minnesota, I know they got a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, but you still got the Green Bay Packers, who has always been a thorn in your side over the last 20 years or so. They did make the playoffs last season. They won a playoff game on the road in Dallas. And of course, you got the division champions, the Detroit Lions, who made it to the NFC Championship game and was actually winning that damn game. So it's not going to be easy for Caleb Williams and company, but the future looks bright for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, you got all the stadium talk, the dome talk, and all that stuff going on with the Bears as well. So there's a lot of optimism going on with the Chicago Bears franchise, which is something that we can't really say that we have experienced too often here in Chicago, at least over the last 10, 20 years or so. But I am out. Like the video, share the video, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Stay blessed. Peace. Bear down.